Does Batman believe in God? What keeps Batman on the right track? Let's explore Batman's moral compass from as neutral and objective of a standpoint as we can. There are many ways to define higher purpose. Some see their higher purpose expressed through religion or spirituality. Others believe it's their sense of right and wrong, a moral code that they live by. Some have a mission or purpose that they strive to fulfill. First, let's explore what religious views Batman may have, if any. DC says that while Bruce Wayne was raised Christian by his father, Batman is an atheist. In agreement with this point, Chapter 10 of Batman and Philosophy, edited by Mark D. White, reads that if you want to be like Batman, quote, "You cannot believe that there is any real depth to who you are as a person. You must accept a world without religion or a higher power of any sort. You must surrender any moral code that you have that is based on religion or God. You must believe in your heart of hearts that you are wholly and completely alone in determining your fate. You must live among criminals." But it's not that simple. The contradiction lies right in the source material. There is no way Batman can be an atheist. Look at the characters who inhabit Batman's universe and it won't make sense. Zuriel, an angel from heaven. Don't forget Wonder Woman, a demigod, daughter of Zeus, a god, and she fights Ares, the god of war. Etrigan, the demon from hell. These are just a few of the characters that seem to defy the atheism argument. There are many more. So, if Batman is the world's greatest detective, it wouldn't make sense for him to claim he's an atheist when he's literally surrounded by characters who are gods, demigods, or angels or demons from an assumed Judeo-Christian heaven or hell. More than one fan thinks it's terrible for Batman to be announced an atheist because, quote, "it reinforces the idea of atheism as only being embittered with God after tragedy." That's a good point that should also be considered. It's almost become a cliche to think of atheism as something that a person falls into after trauma, and it bleeds into fictional characters. It can seem almost like an excuse to not have to explore the character mentally and emotionally from a spiritual perspective. But of course, DC is probably also concerned with potentially losing sales if they dive into contemporary religion. They could lose money if they offend their audience, and so many fans come from different faiths and backgrounds, it's easier to give everyone a good story free of modern religion. I tried finding the term for someone who believes in God but doesn't worship one, and I couldn't find one that would fit Batman. Agnosticism came close, but even then, agnosticism didn't truly fit Batman because agnostics don't know if there's a God, and Batman does know. But Batman, being surrounded with the aforementioned characters, would know that gods do exist, at the very least because he lives with them, but the distinction could be made that perhaps he doesn't believe in serving them. Maybe he questions if any god even deserves to be worshipped. Batman's religious views would be nearly impossible to conclude because so many people have written his character, and again, they'll sell more if they keep mainstream religion out of it. But the idea that he's atheist does not fit unless you remove many characters from Batman's canon. As stated, while he would have to believe that gods do exist in his world, he likely doesn't serve them. He might at times agree with them if the god in question just so happens to come to the same conclusion that Batman did on his own, but gods are not what keep him on track. Sometimes he fights with them, and nowhere do we see him ever willingly bowing his knee and obeying anyone. But something keeps Batman on the right track. Batman is very complicated. 99% of the time, he hides his emotions. He often hides his motives from everyone, sometimes even from the readers. He keeps his plans hidden either in his head or locked behind encryption so advanced that no one has a prayer of opening it. In some stories, his parents' killer is Joe Chill and Chill goes to jail. In other stories, Batman never knows who killed his parents. To complicate things further, think about how many different people have written his character. But I think most fans will agree that Batman does have a moral code, and there's two parts to it. The first part is the memory of his parents, and the promise he made to them when they died, that he would rid the city of the evil that took their lives. But the second part is that he wants to make sure that what happened to him never happens to another person. This keeps Batman striving to do the right thing, and even that gets messy at times when he's faced with difficult choices. So while DC's explanation of Batman's religious views seem contradictory, in the end, it doesn't even matter, because Batman Batman's character has never been rooted in religion. Batman's character, his journey, and his decisions, his angle of faith, has always been about the promise he made to his parents and his dedication to protecting the innocent. In one panel, Bruce Wayne says, "God is above us," and he wears a cape. It's a bit egotistical because he's not a god, but that does sum up Batman's higher purpose. He trusts no one but himself, not even any of the gods who inhabit his world. And his plumb line is the promise he made to his parents. So, what do you think? Leave your comments down below and remember to be respectful. We all have different views and beliefs.